Salutations, people of the internet, welcome to the database, and welcome back to the Super Mario Summertime Marathon, where I discuss anything Mario related for the entire summer. The last Mario game I covered was a wreck for me. It was a kind of game that I had no interest in because it didn't feel like a traditional 2D Mario platformer. If you've seen my last video, I mentioned that what makes a good Mario platformer, in my experience, comes down to the three things: level design, the use of power-ups, and moveset, and progression. Hold on, that's four things. And it's why I have higher hopes when it comes to the actual proper sequel to the traditional Super Mario Bros. Platformer, Super Mario Bros. 3. And unlike Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, I actually have a cartridge copy of the game right here. Though for the sake of the video quality, I'll be capturing footage off the NES Switch online service. And I may sometimes switch from that version to the 16-bit version off the Super Nintendo service through its compilation package, Super Mario Bros. All-Stars. It's the same game but with better graphics. Here's a fun side note. Did you know that there is a Super Mario animated series made in the 90s? There is actually 3 animated series. The first one titles the Super Mario Bros. Super Show that featured these live-action segments starring the pro wrestling manager Captain Lou Albano.
Do you know someone that owns a gun or a knife? Remember, guns and knives aren't toys. They can hurt people or even kill them.
The other 2 are titled after the original video games, titled The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World, the latter having a catchy theme song that I personally have a guilty pleasure for. All of these shows were made by Deke Entertainment, a studio that made some of my childhood shows, from Inspector Gadget, the Sonic animated series, Gadget Boy, and Heathcliff.
Heathcliff, no one should terrify their neighborhood, but Heathcliff just won't be undone, playing pranks on everyone.
What do all of this have to do with this video's review, aside from its animated series counterparts? I just thought it would be a fun idea to share my nostalgia for a bit. So let's get back on track by reviewing Super Mario Bros. 3. So it's the usual stuff for Mario here. Bowser kidnaps Peach, Mario must go and save her. However, in this game, Bowser decides to bring along some of his kids for some extra mayhem. Don't ask me who the mother in all this is. These are the Koopa kids, and there are 7 of them, which fits perfectly with the 8-world format for many Mario platformers, as each one of the kids serve as a boss at the end of it. Wonder if I could list their names. Let's see, we have Wendy O, Larry, Iggy, Morton, Roy, Ludwig, Von Koopa, and Lemmy. Almost forgot the last one. Aside from kidnapping Peach in each of the worlds, it turns out that the Koopa kids have turned their kings of each world into different animals. This is done thanks to the magical rods that each kid possesses that grants them unique abilities, a power source that will become part of their staple in many Mario games. After turning all the kings back to normal, each of them give Mario a letter sent from the princess that describes some of the game's hints and tips for your adventures. I never bother reading any of them really. Also to point out that each of the worlds you progress through have unique themes to them, as listed in the credits of the game. There's your standard grass world along with desert, water, sky, giant, my favorite world of the bunch, pipe, and the final world where you meet Bowser, the Darklands. Yada yada yada, a few obstacles in the Darklands later, you meet Bowser in what's probably the easiest final boss fight in Mario history. You make him break the platform you stand on to make him fall. What an idiot. Oh, and you save the princess after she decides to wake up and choose trolling for a bit.
Gotcha, bitch!
What I love about Super Mario Bros. 3 is that it feels like a genuine evolution of the 2D Mario platformer, keeping in touch as to what makes Mario platformers popular to begin with, while adding in new elements that would become staples in that formula. Example here, When you first boot up the game, you're greeted with an overview map of the current world you're in, with each world having unique themes to stand out, similar to the new Super Mario Bros. Series of games. While each map hosts multiple amount of stages, it breaks the repetitive pace a bit with extra stuff to do, from earning extra power-ups and 1-ups to battling the group of Hammer Brothers that block your path. Sometimes you come across places where you play a quick game of slots for extra lives or a memory matching game. Christ, I can't talk today. Every now and then you come across a mushroom house that has a toad inside. That toad here gives you 3 treasure chests that gift you a randomly generated power-up for your adventure. Finally, you got your fortresses and castles. These serve as the mid-level and end-level bosses. Mid-level boss fights are centered around you navigating a castle-like maze and encountering Boom Boom. And I'm not gonna lie, he's pretty pathetically easy for a boss. It's so easy to time your hops over his head, even if you have a power-up or if he ends up flying with your wings somehow. End-level boss fights will feature one of the 7 Koopalings, where you have to navigate through an auto-scrolling section through an airship. If you somehow fail the airship stage, the airship will leave the castle and you have to go around the map and find it. While you could play all the stages that each world has to offer, there are also these pipes that provide you little shortcuts to make your progression a little faster. Sometimes you'll even find yourself a flute item in secret areas. One use out of this and you'll hear a familiar tune as a tornado carries you to a warp zone. This game really likes to shower you with 1-ups, like at every end of the stage your goalpost is a roulette, where if you match 3 of the same image, that's a 1-up. Secret areas have a 1-up, there are tons of coins to collect, and you'll never run empty on power-ups after losing a life. Power-ups are a new element that was given a change from the first game to this one. Along with the Super Mushroom, Fire Flower, and Starman returning from the first game, we got new power-ups from the Frog Suit that lets you swim faster, a Hammer Bros suit which is very rare to come across, and the signature power-up from this game, the Super Leaf. The Super Leaf breaks some of the game's stage design, as it grants you the ability to fly and glide across hazards and gaps for a short period amount of time. And if you manage to run at high speeds after filling up your P meter, you can soar into the sky and find hidden areas a normal jump can't do. There are other variants of Super Leafs in this game, from a P-Wing which grants you full-time flying access for the whole stage, and the Tanuki suit, which is the same as the Super Leaf but lets you turn into stone. I barely use this ability. Oh yeah, this game introduces the P-switches that turn coins into blocks and vice versa. And it's not just Mario and his power-ups that get something new, it's the enemies as well. We got your Paragoombas with wings, Piranha Plants that shoot fireballs, Pogies make their return from Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, there's the fire sprites and jumping blocks that you see in a desert world, not to mention this damn sun that looks so pissed off at Mario for some reason, and it just charges at you at any given moment. Is this Mario becoming political about global warming or something? Super Mario Bros. 3 gets the A rank. This is a great follow-up to the original Super Mario Bros. Formula, and it feels like a nice step in the right direction, unlike my experience revisiting Mario 2 Doki Doki Panic. While the controls aren't perfect yet, it still feels like a traditional Mario platformer, which is all I ask for. Also, I do kinda appreciate playing this game on the Switch's emulator, because realizing that you have to finish this game in one setting for the NES version and play the beginning of the world you saved on for the Super Nintendo version feels like a friggin' nightmare of me pulling my hair out. So is it cheating that I'm using an emulator? I don't know. But I have the original copy of the game, so who cares? Can I talk about the Super Mario Bros. Cartoon again real quick? These are just fever dreams of programming they decide to make. And I own rare-ass DVDs of the Super Mario cartoon, from the Super Show, Adventures of Mario 3, and Super Mario World. Though they may be expensive now, I managed to get these from DVD bargain bins for $5 a pop. And after rewatching these DVDs, this has got to be the most corniest shit I ever seen. You can find all of them online on YouTube. On the plus side, or maybe downside, I don't know, it didn't have those PSAs starring Captain Lou Albano in his Mario outfit.
You knew it was stolen. I hope you'd say no, because if you accept stolen property, the law says you're just as guilty as the one who stole it. If you went for a ride in a stolen car or damaged something that was stolen, you'd be responsible too. So be smart. Say no to stealing.
First of all, this is one of, or probably the only place where you get to hear Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, and Bowser speak full sentences. The Koopa Kids speak full sentences too, and were given unique yet cardboard one-dimensional personalities to make them stand out. And in the Mario 3 cartoon, you see the Mario cast explore around Brooklyn, which, yeah, that's where Mario and Luigi are from, but even so, they still look out of place compared to the other human characters. Yoshi speaks in this too, in the Super Mario World cartoons, and...
Yoshi think Luigi, mama!
Anyways, though the Koopa Kids have been annoying to deal with as they always appear in many Mario games throughout the 2010s, their first appearance here is actually quite tolerable. As you can see, they're easy to beat in the game, and you don't see them again until the next Mario game, which is what I'll be covering next for this summer marathon. We're finally gonna jump to the Super Nintendo as we explore the world of dinosaurs in Super Mario World. I'm Christopher James, and I'll see you next time.
Mario! Mario!
Mario!
He's back. All you had to do was ask. Super Mario Bros. 3 from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.